I really deeply believe I have heard this quote, and I love it, that nowadays not the big fish is eating the small fish anymore, but the fast fish, the slow fish. And exactly this is the advantage, what you can achieve with the help of OptiMonk AI.
Welcome back to the Knowledge Capital. We are really happy to receive today Krisztian from OptiMonks. How are you, Krisztian?
Thank you very much, Hedi. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm happy to be here with you today.
Thank you for coming. So OptiMonks is an AI pop-up builder. In the AI era, we thought that was very interesting to receive Krisztian on the podcast because this is something that a lot of people should pay attention to, especially in the era of the shopping and all the new trends that are coming, the live shopping, working with AI plugin and widgets for your e-commerce or your website is more than important right now. So we will enter in the topic directly with you, Krisztian. I would love you introduce your personal background, your journey from where you started to finishing the e-commerce, SaaS business, and CRO.
Okay, great. Thank you for the opportunity, Hedi. So actually, just very shortly to my personal background, I'm working as a digital marketing expert for more than a decade now. I have started as everybody else a freelancer, and later on I have built up my own digital marketing agency here in Hungary, which I have led for more than 5 years. And I had always two main focus regarding digital marketing, and it was definitely data analytics and conversion rate optimization, and of course, generally e-commerce. Most of the times I've worked with e-commerce stores. And actually, it was a full-stack digital marketing agency, which I think it's important to mention, because regarding digital marketing, I believe in holistical approach, which means we can definitely manage some isolated areas. I know exactly there are some agencies who are doing only email marketing or doing only SEO or doing only PPC, which is quite good, and you can definitely also reach some results with it. But to my experience, the biggest impact, the biggest results can you always achieve when you manage all the areas of digital marketing together accordingly to a main strategy, and then they work together in a kind of synergy, so that you manage all these areas. So later, after my digital marketing agency, I have joined the OptiMonk team. And actually, already 5 years ago, we had our first success story with OptiMonk together, because we have made in Hungary the first business reality show called E-commerce Revolution, where we have proved in front of the cameras, so we have showed everything very transparent and very honest. We have chosen 4 e-commerce stores, which we have mentored and guided with the help of digital marketing. And at the end of this business reality show, which means after 2 months, we have achieved 2 digits uplift in revenue by all of the 4 e-commerce stores. But the best one, the biggest impact, what we have achieved, it was a pet store. And there we have achieved 67% uplift in revenue after 2 months.
And you did everything. You did everything for free for the participants.
Yes. It was the, let's say, the main business goal for it, that we have made everything free of charge, but they had to agree as well that we show everything, the numbers, the data, everything, that everybody who listens to this show or even watches it, because we have made, of course, also on YouTube as well, that they can learn from it, because it was the main goal of this whole show, the education, to learn from
Very, very nice. Very nice. Did you have a nice impact in terms of viewers and?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that time, as I have mentioned before, it was not recently, it was actually 5 years ago, but that time it was something quite new, something quite exciting. And a lot of e-commerce store owners, even years later, when I have met them, for example, personally on different events, they came to me and they said to me, thank you, that, oh, it was great. I have learned so much. I have made so much takeaways from your business reality show, and it was a really nice feeling for me that, okay, it was worth working on it.
No, and I think to show the relevance and the reliability of any company, you have to give first in order to receive in somewhere.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
especially now in the AI e-commerce business, this is crowded. You are going to Google, you have tens and tens of platforms. You don't know what is good. And at the end, even if people want to bring more automation to their business by integrating that kind of technology, on the other side, they also want to have some anchor with human people. And I think building this is why also we do and I do the knowledge capital, let's talk business, business and breakfast, all the live shows that I am doing, because I think people in the era of AI will need to be more connected to the live things. And if you can put live what you explained, like you can show to the world and your people, you are so confident in what you are doing that you are ready to show live how you improve and how you help a business to grow thanks to your services. I think this is the best advertising you can have. I'm pretty sure after that you had a great impact on your business.
Absolutely, Heidi, and I totally agree with you. And I would like just to mention 2 points to that because I think they are really important. Firstly, we know that people buy from people. So that's the reason, as you have also mentioned before, that it's very important that you show your human side, especially nowadays in this new AI era. And just two very short examples. This is the reason, for example, why even the biggest companies hire sometimes let's say, a face for that to increase their impacts, their revenue, their sales efforts. Like, for example, just take from the earlier times, Nike and Michael Jordan, or nowadays Nespresso and
George Clooney.
George Clooney. Yeah, thank you very much. Because
Yeah.
people buy from people. People don't like faceless companies anymore. And the other part, what I would like to mention as well, we know it from Jeffrey Kitome, one of the best sales trainers of the world. He said once that the number one reason why people don't buy from you, that they don't trust you. And
Yeah,
I
yeah, of
think,
course.
especially in the online era, it's so important that you can build trust to your clients, to your visitors, to your customers. And one of the best ways, I think, in order to build this trust is, for example, that you help them. You give them value. You help them.
Of
You
course.
educate them in any ways.
Giving more than you receive is the secret sauce now.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. And just very short also to the story of OptiMonk as a company. This company was established 11 years ago in Hungary. And I would say just as a classic pop-up tool at that time. But with the years, we have definitely discovered that it's not enough to stay in this overcrowded space of e-commerce, as you have also mentioned. So therefore, we have always added new features, developed new features to OptiMonk, like, for example, built-in A/B testing, on-site personalizations, and so on. And nowadays, I would say that we are an AI-powered comprehensive CRO tool for conversion rate optimizations with a lot of other features as well, but we're going to talk about it a little bit later, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what was the original problem? Why OptiMonk was created? Because 2014 it was the boom of the social networks, or the boom of the e-commerce. So at that time it was the pop-up thing, or what was the vision when OptiMonk was created?
Mhm. It's actually a very good question, Heidi. Thank you for that. Because just very short to the human background of the company, the founder of our company, Csaba Zajdo, he's a serial entrepreneur and also an investor. And one of his first companies was in Hungary, ShopRenter. It's an e-commerce platform, a little bit similar like Shopify, but of course much smaller, which gives the possibility for small and middle-sized entrepreneurs to rent your own e-commerce stores. You can just put it together in 2, 3, 4 days, and you just pay a monthly rental fee for that. So actually, on a very low costs and efforts, you can start with your e-commerce store, which was that time, we are talking now about 10, 12, or even 15 years ago, of course, a quite new possibility for entrepreneurs to enter the e-commerce era. And after that, he has seen on their clients that they often struggle how to convert the existing traffic into customers, into buyers. And therefore, his idea was to improve a tool which helps these e-commerce store owners to convert these visitors into buyers. And that time, it's also important to mention that the space was not so overcrowded as now. We know exactly nowadays there are tons of pop-up tools on the market, but that time was not so much on the market. So he has started with this new company called OptiMonk as a pop-up tool with the main goal to help the e-commerce store owners, as I have mentioned before, convert or start at least converting them from visitors into subscribers, and later on, of course, with the help of email marketing, into purchasers.
Okay, great. So I think what is very interesting to see is like OptiMonk was created in 2014. We are now in 2026. So you lived through a very significant market shift. You saw the rising of ad costs, for example, the success of Amazon, Temu, the competition that came for the e-commerce, and at the same time the expectation of the customer were going higher. So how you could stand out from all of that? What do you bring to the e-commerce? For example, I have an e-commerce. I am selling, I don't know, liquors online. And I just want to stand out from the traditional big blockbuster that we are seeing. So what are the tools you are specifically giving to your private shops that want to strive online?
As I have mentioned before, we have started in Hungary as a small startup, but nowadays we are very proud of it that we are already an international company, because at the moment about 30,000 websites and e-commerce stores are using worldwide OptiMonk, which is actually, of course, also a great benefit for us, because there are a lot of data which we can learn from. And we can get and gather a lot of insights and feedbacks from our users, from our customers. What are their main pain points? What are their main challenges? What they would like to improve? And exactly based on that, of course, we can always develop our newest features. Like, for example, as you have mentioned, the big giants like Amazon, Temu, and other big companies, they have entered also the market. And they have a kind of, let's say, endless budget, for example, for PPC campaigns, Google Ads and Meta Ads campaigns, which means that the CPC, the cost per click, has actually increased in the last couple of years, actually dramatically. So not linear, but I would say exponential. So everybody who are running PPC campaigns know exactly what I'm talking about. So nowadays you have to pay much more for one visitor. And exactly from this reason, it's extremely important that what are you doing with your existing traffic? If you have spent already a tons of money to generate traffic, to get these people, to get these visitors to your website or to your e-commerce store, it plays a huge role. How do you help them? It's very important. How not push them? How do you help them to go further on the customer journey? Because don't forget, the average e-commerce conversion rate is now between 2 and 3%.
Wow.
Which means that even if you have a high e-commerce conversion rate, let's say above the average, 5%, let's say you have a great e-commerce store and your PPC campaigns are set up properly, everything is great, but you have maximum 5% e-commerce conversion rate, which means that from 100 visitors, 95 leave your website or your e-commerce store without purchasing. And if you don't do anything with them, you leave a lot of money on the table. And this is exactly the point what you cannot afford as a small or middle-sized business in comparison with the giants. Because this is exactly your chance to stay competitive on this market and
Exactly.
start with strategies how to convert them. Like, for example, if they don't purchase, at least try to get them to subscribe to your newsletter, that later on, with the lead nurturing, with the professional email marketing, you can build up the trust, what we were talking about before, and get them further on the customer journey that they are ready to buy from you. Or another example, there is also a big issue, a big challenge for most of the e-commerce stores owners, the cart abandonment rate. The industrial average is between 30 and 80%. To think about it, it's a huge amount. And
Yes.
actually, it's the same situation if you don't even try to rescue them. You can't rescue them at all of them, of course, but at least a part of them is the same story, left money on the table. And for example, with OptiMonk, it's also possible to make a kind of trigger on site to rescue them and at least to give them a trigger to finish the purchase with different methods, of course. And we have, of course, also a lot of case studies about it, that it's really works in the everyday life as well. So we have some case studies with some e-commerce stores where we have won back 10-20% of these cart abandoners with the help of our campaigns, which means, of course, again, a lot of saved money in your revenue.
Yeah. No. I think the fact that to be small is also an advantage in this market, because you can adapt, you can adjust, you can propose, you can try. Today, Temu or Amazon, when they want to try something, it is an organization of few months for them because they are so big. So I think the faster you can be, the faster you can test the market, the better you will have answer and feedback from the customers, and the better you will adjust and stand out from the crowd. Now, Krisztian, I really want to enter deeper in the product and the company and the problem it solves. I think it's very important that the audience really understand how they can use OptiMonk and how you can help them to improve their business. So clearly, what is OptiMonk AI today? Beyond the pop-ups, what is clearly your offer, and what real problem you are solving feature by feature, so like that people can really understand?
Actually, what you have mentioned before regarding speed, it's very important to note, because I really deeply believe, I have heard this quote and I love it, that nowadays not the big fish is eating the small fish anymore, but the fast fish, the slow fish. And exactly this is the advantage, what you can achieve with the help of OptiMonk AI. Just one example, let's take the pop-ups, because everybody knows pop-ups. What is the common mistake or the common problem with the pop-ups? That they show the same message to every visitors, and it's boring. I think the biggest mistake what you can do generally in marketing, that you are boring. There is so overcrowded this market, so we live in such a noisy everyday life that nobody wants to read general messages anymore. People are just not interested. So
Yeah.
therefore, I really believe in it, that personalization and even hyper personalization and segmentation are the future of e-commerce and digital marketing. And
Yes.
this is exactly the point where, for example, OptiMonk AI can help you as a business owner, as an e-commerce store owner, because OptiMonk is working with first-party data, which means at the moment when it's connected with your e-commerce store, it starts monitoring your visitors, gathering data from them, and based on that data, you can use it and target all your on-site messages, which means not just the pop-ups, but also side messages, sticky bars, and there are a lot of other possibilities as well. But the main advantage on it is that, for example, based on the visitor's behavior, you can show them different messages. And even with the help of AI, you can accelerate this whole process, because now it's even possible that, for example, based on search intent, you can show every visitor even a different pop-up with a different headline, with a different message, even with a different creative.
Yeah,
Because
and
Yes.
I think it's very matching what we are seeing now on social network. We can see, for example, like since 3 years, 2, 3 years now, social networks totally shifted. Now you are not seeing the content of the people you only follow. 80% of your feed is from other things, from things that you like. So the topics that you liked, that you want to see appear on your feed because the platform wants to stay on the platform. So I think that is very relevant to match this strategy on e-commerce. E-commerce, as you said, can be very boring. A pop-up message, subscribe to our newsletter, look at the last promotion, click on it, very boring stuff. But when you have something that is totally optimized and personalized, I think that makes the experience of online shopping totally different. So yes, sorry to interrupt you, but
No. It's very important because it's also, I would say, a basic rule in digital marketing that higher relevance equals always higher conversion rates. So you have just think about it. You have to try to think with the head, with the mind of your customers. That if you would like to get higher conversion rates, you have to show your visitors much more relevant messages where they are interested. And of course, you don't have the possibility to do it manually. So, you need a system which can do it for you. And actually, with the help of AI, OptiMonk is exactly able to do that. So actually watching your visitors, how they are behaving, what are they doing on your side, in which products, for example, or in which topics are they interested, and based on that, show them exactly what they would like to see.
yeah.
Because
So
also
you're
from Jeffrey Gitomer, we know it, that people hate to be sold, but they love to buy. It's a big difference.
Yeah, exactly. You need yeah, of course, to be the bestseller, and this is interesting because always put the comparison with the social network, but you are seeing like now the bestseller are the best marketer, are the best people to talk about things, but never selling them.
Yeah.
And this is what your e-commerce should suggest. So I think integrating kind of educational tools, educational things to catch your customers on your e-commerce and your website so they can come and spend times learning, giving free information for them. And then that will convert much more because the confidence will be there. They will feeling well on your website. So I think all the things like shifting from the old way that was manual work, spending a lot on customer acquisition, slow testing without any guarantee of results. Now, OptiMonks is like delivering an automated AI driven that you can set up very quickly, I think, and with an average uplift of revenue. What is the revenue lift you are seeing before and after on an average with your customer?
Of course, it's very hard to say an average because it's depending a lot of factors. Like, for example, how many traffic is on the e-commerce store. It's actually crucial because I always say that digital marketing and especially conversion rate optimization is the game of big numbers. And as we know exactly, AI is also working based on data. The higher the volume of the data, the better is the output. If, for example, an e-commerce store has too low traffic, actually doesn't make too much sense to start with AI because actually they don't have a CRO problem, they have a
Yeah,
traffic problem. So first of all,
yeah,
they should generate more traffic, and then later on they should start with conversion rate optimization, and even later on with AI-powered conversion rate optimization. So just one example, below 15,000 unique visitors per month, I think there is not too much, makes not too much sense to switch on any AI features and any AI-powered CRO features on your
yeah,
site. But to answer your question, I would say that as an average between 20 and 30%, we can count with it as an average revenue uplift. But there are, of course, also sometimes extreme examples. Like, for example, we have a US-based e-commerce store where we have achieved 48% revenue uplift with the help of product page optimization, which I'm gonna talk a little bit later about. But just very shortly back to this pop-up topic, because it's also very interesting what you have mentioned before. That I think that the classical old ways, what you have mentioned, like for example, sign up to our newsletter, it just doesn't work anymore. Just think about it. An average human gets nowadays, I have read it last time, a very interesting statistics, 120 emails per day. 120 emails. Nobody wants to get 121 newsletters because they are subscribed already. So much newsletters, they are just not interested. So if you try to get them with this message to sign up for your newsletter, it won't work, because people don't want to get subscribed to another newsletter again. Or another example, it's also very interesting, it's really worth to think about it. Exactly yesterday, I had a very interesting conversation also with an international expert who is expert in email marketing and retention marketing, with really great results, great impacts. For example, by one of their e-commerce store clients, they have achieved in 90 days $5 million in revenue only from email marketing. So they are really experts. They know what they are talking about. And he has told me a very interesting A/B testing. They have tested which kind of effect it has if they decrease or increase the coupon code, 5%, 10%, 15%. And it was exactly the opposite what most people would think about. If they have decreased the volume of the coupon code, the value of the coupon code, the sign-up rate has increased. So it was absolutely a proof for that it's not the reason for that they are signing up, that you give them a big discount. No. It could be, he told me, it could be even sometimes too dangerous, because it means that you get only people on board to your newsletter who are very price sensitive. And if they find the same product just $1 cheaper anywhere else, you lost them.
Exactly that. Yes.
You lost them.
Yeah. You have to decide now. It's you are in the mass market, you compete with the big to make volume, or you are in the top. If you want to be in the middle, you are losing. And I think the market in general is trending up. So the more you intend to attract more purchase power, the more results you will get on long term. Because targeting to uplift the average ticket spending on your website is critical, because for example, you have 10,000 people coming to your website. If you have 50 people that has a purchase power more than 100 euros, I don't know, for anything, it's much better to capture them, retain them, and then sell to that kind of audience, because you can start to convert the 10,000 that will probably drop at 5,000, but 5,000 that would be better than 10,000 and that are not price sensitive. And if you don't want to fight in a price sensitivity, you will extract yourself from Amazon, from Temu, from all the big guys. You cannot play at the same level of them. So I think uplifting your communication and the quality and everything you do better than them would be the key to success.
USPs, unique sales propositions. And I always tell it to my clients earlier as a digital marketing agency owner. And even nowadays, I have sometimes, of course, meetings with e-commerce store owners. If your only advantage is your price, you have lost. You have lost, because there will be always another competitor who can make lower prices than you.
Yeah, of course.
So you have to think about other opportunities as USPs, unique.
And there is another thing, is if you want to be cheap, you will have cheap customers. And cheap customers mean a lot of customer support.
Absolutely.
The less they pay, the more they will bother you.
And then you have to spend so much time to nurture them and support them.
Yeah. So very, very interesting. So the core USP right now of OptiMonk is a one-to-one personalization. What you do, actually, your pop-up builder is adapted to the kind of customers, to the market, to the region, How far is going the segmentation that you talked before? Because you said that what is important is the segmentation, the hyper personalization. So how far your tools are going to understand the behavior of the visitor?
Okay. What I can tell you what is the situation at the moment, but I don't know what will bring the future for us, of course.
Yes.
With the help of AI, it's the whole process accelerating now. So I think it's really, really exciting. First of all, how to find the golden middle way. Because on the one side, of course, we expect personalized experience. I have read it in a case study last time that nowadays approximately 70% of online visitors expect personalized experience on websites or on e-commerce stores. But on the other side, we have also to think about, of course, data privacy, that we don't hurt it. So it's not
Yeah,
always
the
so simple to
frontier is
find.
very thin.
Yeah, very thin, definitely. But at the moment, there are actually a lot of possibilities to target with our on-site messages. So actually all the data which are gathered can be used in order to personalize our messages. Like, for example, as you have also mentioned before, based on country, on browser language. Is it a new visitor or a returning visitor? Has he signed up to your newsletter before or not yet? Have they ever purchased by you or not yet? Or even go deeper. For example, based on UTM parameter, are they coming from organic search, from Facebook campaigns, from Google Ads campaigns, from referrals, from email marketing? Or for example, OptiMonk has a very deep integration in Klaviyo as an email marketing tool, which makes it possible that we can even target our on-site campaigns based on the Klaviyo segments. So not just email marketing, but inside email marketing, okay, in which segments are these visitors? So very exciting. So there
Yeah,
are a
very.
lot of possibilities regarding this.
Yeah, no. This is very interesting, and I think more than ever before, having that kind of tool for your e-commerce will clearly make you standing out.
And then you know what is very interesting, Hedi, that I think that the limit is not the technical part, rather the human creativity. It's very interesting because I see it by a lot of, or not a lot of, but by some of our customers, that they just don't use it because they don't think about it. What would be the possibility? I mean, the technical possibility is there, but they don't try to think in customer journeys. And they still just showing the same pop-up for returning and new visitors. Just very simple example.
Mhm.
Technical, it would be absolutely possible to set it up differently, but they just don't do it. So therefore, I think that's not the technical part, but more the human creativity part, which is
Yeah.
sometimes as a limitation there.
Yeah, and as I said, giving value and education to your customers and leads is also for OptiMonk very interesting. I don't know if you have that like knowledge base or library resources on how
Absolute.
creative you can be with the tools to open possibilities and vision. This is very exciting for the online businesses. So very nice. Speaking about that small stop, Christian will give a special discount to all the audience at the end of the podcast. All the audience of the Knowledge Capital will get access to a special offer that we will talk about it a bit later. I want to enter now. I love to deliver use cases on the value proposition to have a deep understanding on how our invitees, the companies we are bringing to light, can really solve problems. So I love to put some use cases in perspective. So I would love to enter in, for example, a use case. I need to fix my leaky funnel, meaning like my basic pop-ups are ignored. I have a very low sign-up rates. What would be the solution for that regarding OptiMonks?
Okay. So regarding, let's start then with a classic pop-ups in order to increase the sign-up rates, then the first step should be definitely to start to differentiate your pop-ups with our smart pop-ups and even with our AI-powered hyper-personalized pop-ups, which means, as we have mentioned before, that we should start to segment our visitors, and based on the traffic source, as I have mentioned before, based on their behavior, based on the country. It could be especially interesting if you are, for example, running an e-commerce store selling internationally. So it's possible that your visitors are coming from different country, and OptiMonk sees it exactly. So why not use this data if we see it? And based on that, just set up these segments and show them different pop-ups, as I have mentioned before, with different headline, different message, and even with different creatives. Because nowadays, with the help of AI, we can generate it really in just seconds.
Okay, so the content. So, for example, you have a visitor from the US and a visitor from Australia. I am landing on the website, and I have something that is according all the data that your tools understood. It will create the perfect way to introduce what you want to push to them, what you want to push to the pop-up. I don't know if you want to have I don't know, I do not have any idea, but you want to deliver a message on your pop-up, and it will be personalized for US-based customers that love to buy things on that kind of store. That can go that deep. And also my second question is, do you need to prepare the things upfront, meaning like the resources have to be prepared, or the AI tools can generate on the spot after he recognized the data received?
It's a very good question, Hedi. Thank you for that. Because it's also very important to note that even OptiMonk or AI generally, it's not the holy grail. It's not the miracle, which means that still you have to know very deeply your customers, your product market fit, and your business strategy. Because these are and your USPs as well, because these are then, let's say, 3 or 4 points, which definitely cannot do instead of you, AI or OptiMonk, which means, like, let's take your example, you have to know as a business owner exactly how should you communicate with your visitors coming from the US or coming from Australia. So that
Okay.
means definitely that you have to create the strategy and the implementation. This is the part where AI can help you very quickly. Just one example. When OptiMonk is connected with your product feed of your store, OptiMonk AI pulls out all the data from the product feed, and based on that data, we can regenerate your product descriptions, the headlines, the benefit lists of your product, and even the product pictures, which is a very new and very exciting area, I think, to put your product in an everyday life situation, how to use it, or for example, if you sell clothes, how to wear it, so you can show it exactly to your visitors. So this part can be done from OptiMonk and even from OptiMonk AI in seconds. But you have to be in control. I always say you are in control. AI does the heavy lifting, but AI won't know instead of you what would be the best communication in this case yet. Maybe it will happen in some years, but at the moment we are at this level. And to answer your second question, it's not possible yet to generate it so quickly in not even seconds, but in milliseconds, because it happens everything very quick online. You have to prepare it upfront, but it will afterwards shown and changed dynamically and automatically with the help of AI. But you have to prepare it in upfront.
Okay, so you answered to my second use case that I wanted to talk about. It was the product pages, but we will enter deeper into that. I just want to understand. So you say that your tools are recognizing all the customer behavior when they land on the website. So from what they get that from the IP of the computer, or where those data are coming from? Because you were talking about respecting the privacy and so on. So how do you get those data staying in the limit of the privacy? How do you get clearly those data? Because it was not really clear for me how
Mhm.
you get it, because I think it's important to understand.
Yeah, absolutely. So OptiMonk is working. It's not relied on any other tool or software with third-party data, but it's working with his own cookies, with his own first-party data,
Okay.
which we can gather, store, and analyze. and use, of course, in order to personalize our messages. And it's also important to note that these are all, I would say, unpersonal, so not personalized data, like, for
Okay.
example, name or email address or something like this. Only data points are gathered from us, which are absolutely anonymous. Like, for
Okay.
example, from which traffic source is this visitor coming? Is it a new visitor or returning visitor? What do they what they have visited so far on the e-commerce store, on the website? Have they already signed up to your newsletter or not? Have they already purchased by you or not? So a lot of data which is useful for you as an e-commerce store owners, but definitely not hurting the personal shield, I would say, of the
Yeah.
visitor.
Okay, okay. Very, very good. Very interesting. So I want to come back on my use case too. We already talked about it a bit, but I want to enter deeper because I think that can fix a lot of problem for e-commerce stores. We know that a lot of product pages are not relevant. The information is not given as it should be. The texts are too long. They are not SEO optimized. There is many things. So it's impossible to manually write and test copy for hundreds of products because you can lose month and month without having any guarantee of the impact. So you have a feature called the Smart Product Page Optimizer. How it's working? Because I think it's very important to understand that because I think that can fix a lot of problem for e-commerce today.
Absolutely, Hedi. And I think actually it's nowadays crucial for every e-commerce store, because I always say product page is the new landing page, because
Yes.
most of the e-commerce stores are running PMAX campaigns, and usually even 60-70% of the visitors coming from PMAX campaigns, which means that most of the visitors are landing directly on the product page. They don't even see the main page or the category pages.
Yeah.
So therefore, I think we have to optimize the product page as deeply as possible. And exactly from this reason, I think that our new AI-powered product page optimizer could be definitely a game changer by a lot of e-commerce stores. Because what we have developed, what we have involved, this is a kind of embedded content which looks totally native, just like a part of the product page. So actually the visitors don't even recognize that they are looking at an OptiMonk campaign. They think it's just a part of the product page. But
Okay.
this part of the product page, this embedded content, can be regenerated and automatically and dynamically changed with the help of our AI.
Okay.
And as I have mentioned before, pulled out all the data from the product feed, can we now regenerate new AI-based headlines for the product? We can put together AI-generated benefit lists for this product. And the biggest one, I think, and it's really just great, to regenerate the product pictures, because a lot of e-commerce stores have as an issue or a challenge that, let's be honest, they have very boring product pictures, just a white background or a transparent PNG,
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's yeah,
which is
yeah.
maybe good for
Very
Google.
boring.
Yeah, but definitely not for your human visitors. And exactly at this point can we help with making your products more alive, showing them in everyday life, as I have mentioned before, how to use it, how to wear them. And now it's much more appealing, much more attractive to your visitors, and it dramatically can increase the add to cart rate, which is, of course, a very important KPI on a product page. And the best part on it is that, as I have mentioned before, there is a built-in A/B testing in OptiMonk, which means that you are definitely able to test it at the beginning. Let's say 50% of your visitors gonna see the original version of your product page, 50% the new version regenerated with the help of AI. And then after a couple of days or after a couple of weeks, you can make your data-driven decision, and you're gonna see it correctly and absolutely on your analytics dashboard in your OptiMonk account, which version has performed better. But we have run already, of course, tons of such A/B testing, and usually always the AI generated images and headlines win because, of course, they look much better. They
Yeah,
have much
yeah.
better effect to the visitors.
Okay, so I want to enter deeper in that. It's like, so you said that it's integrated in the existing page, meaning like this is just a part that you are generating, or you have the capacity to regenerate the entire page for the visitor. Because, for example, if we speak about Indian buyers, Indian people love having Indian related people. So you spoke about video and picture generation. Do your tools go as far as generating a new image, putting an Indian with the product when they land on the page, or how far you can go? Because I think it really depends about the communities we are talking to, but India and Pakistan and everything that is Southeast and Asia, they love to be like hyper personalized. Like Chinese people love to see not Chinese, they love European and American, but Japanese people or other Asian, Malaysian people, they love to see like local with the product in the hand. And I think that will be massive to have that kind of flexibility and possibility, like working around the headline, the topic, the subject, and the picture. So like shaping the page, fitting the expectation of the customer.
Mhm.
So how far is going right now with OptiMonk?
Let's start with the first question. We definitely cannot regenerate the whole product picture, as we are only working front end,
Okay.
not at the back end, which means that we don't even need actually an admin access to your Shopify admin area or whichever platform you use. So it's just happening front end. So not the whole product page will be regenerated. But to answer your other question, we can go definitely so far is just kind of prompting, because that's the best part on it, that inside of your OptiMonk account, you can reprompt it like you do it in your everyday life with ChatGPT or Claude or Google Gemini, that you prompt it so long, you iterate it as you are satisfied what you see, as you are satisfied with the output. Like in this case, okay, regenerate a picture where my products are consumed from Indian people or from Japanese people. And it can definitely do it for you. Or another example, you can use it in your seasonal offers. Like, for example, I would like to see a picture where a family is standing around the Christmas tree and my product is a gift. We can do that.
Okay.
So there are a lot of possibilities, as you have mentioned before. It's just a kind of creativity. Yeah, what you would like to see on your product page. And if you see that it's very, again, relevant to your customers, that it will be, of course, a high impact on your results.
So, and for example, if you are launching your Christmas campaign and you want to have a kind of Christmas hyper personalization per country. So if, for example, you make some testing on the prompt and you have one prompt that is working very well, like, I'm going, when an Indian people is coming, they are, or it's Diwali, the Indian people, it's not Christmas, it's Diwali. This is another kind of Christmas. So I want to have a Diwali ambience, family, and so on. Can you keep that as a master prompt? Like this is the original prompt that will help to generate every visitors coming from this one? Because you said that you need to test with some prompts. When you are really happy with the prompt, you keep the prompt as the prompt that will be used, you decide, or it's always a bit random, the generation?
We have prompt templates.
Okay.
We have prompt templates, or another example, which is right now, it's live, I would say, because of course there are a couple of users from us already who are using this feature every time. And we have seen it already that, for example, by us in Europe, Eastern is coming, which is a great season. And they are already generating Eastern topics, creatives, banners, pop-ups, and even product pages, because Eastern is a very nice season by us, and why not to use it?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Very, very good. And just to understand a bit your business model, do you invoice to your customers on token-based spending, or this is a fixed cost and you take in charge the tokens? Because you have your own LLM language, or you are using external?
External API. And actually, I love this question, because it means that you understand very deeply actually this part, because at the moment it's on fixed price, but we are working on the new system where it is going to be counted based on tokens, because of course it's depending on how many products you have.
Of course.
It's a huge difference if you have only 100 product pages or 10,000 product pages. At the moment, it's very simple. We have the premium package, which means $249 per month. And it means that until 500,000 page views per month, you can use this package and all the AI features are included still.
Okay.
But it will definitely change in the future, and the charging will be based on the tokens. How many tokens do you use by these AI generations, which you have mentioned very correctly?
Okay. Well, but the ROI is very good. $249 for 500,000 pages. That means if we follow your ROI expectation, even if we expect 5% conversion, we are talking about 25,000 purchase only with that. So this is very interesting. This is a this is not an
A
investment.
no-brainer category, I think, at the moment. It's a no-brainer category to start with.
Yeah. And this is clearly, if people, because we are seeing now, to come back on the ads, the problem with the ads, what we are seeing, the cost per click is going through the roof. You have also the big players that are playing a game to put the small one outside of the game to make the CPC rising. So like that, the ad campaign cannot be affordable anymore. So they will totally maximize their presence on the AdWords campaign. So I think the relevance is very important, and working on your relevance will also help you to grow organically, because growing organically nowadays on social network is easier than ever before because of, as I said, the feed now is 70% things that are based on relevance and absolutely not the people you are following. So if you are creating good content, the algorithm of the social network will push the content in the front of the eyes of the potential customers. So small businesses can work on relevance of their communication without only relying on ad spending. Because I had a use case on maximizing the ad spend. Maximizing the ad spend for landing pages, because the CPC is going through the roof, and the paid traffic sent to generic pages is giving a lot of high bounce rate and a lot of, at the end, wasted budget. So what is the solution you are bringing with your smart personalization regarding the maximizing the ad spending?
Yeah. Actually, I love this solution of us, because earlier, as a digital marketing agency owner, I know exactly what was the system, what was the work progress if we were running PPC campaigns. Usually, we have tested different versions of landing pages in order to compare them, which one is performing better, which means that we have to create it 2, 3, 4, even 5 different versions of landing pages with 2, 3, 4, 5 different URLs. And then we have split the traffic, of course, generated from PPC campaigns, and then we have measured the results. Now it's over, actually, with this old method. We don't need it to do anymore, and you don't need it to do it anymore, because with our smart personalization, it's a little bit similar like by product pages. You are now able to put, for example, in the headline of your landing page, an embedded content with the help of OptiMonk. And there you can make a setup, which means that the content of this embedded content, which looks totally native, again, just a part of the landing page, will be automatically and dynamically changed, for example, based on your campaigns. So if in your ad you have communicated, just take a concrete case study, also again from a US-based company, that, for example, this nutrition powder is especially good for men who are going usually in the gym. This was the communication and the creative on the ad. If they click through, what they gonna see on the landing page? Hey, if you go usually to the gym, this is exactly the nutrition powder which gonna help you. But
Okay.
if the communication and the creative was in the ad, for example, this nutrition powder is great if you are a mom staying alone after got your baby. Click through, and the same message or a very similar message again on the landing page. So it means there is a correlance between a context between the ad, what the visitors had seen for the first click, and when they arrive on the landing page. It connects in their mind,
Yeah,
and it's a
it's
great advantage.
smart ads. Yeah.
Smart ads. And it means that you have to create only one landing page, but with the help of OptiMonk, this embedded content makes all the solution for you, which you need usually to get as a solution for this challenge.
So the OptiMonk tool is plugged at the AdWord campaign?
Absolutely. So, for
Okay.
example, based on the UTM parameter, OptiMonk can exactly see from which ad did this visitor come. And actually, we have also a case study about it where we were able to double the ROAS with the help of the smart optimized landing pages, to double the ROAS, which is, I think, a great thing nowadays.
Now, I think the two, for me, what I understand from your business is like the two best feature that you have are the optimized store product pages and the optimized ads. I think this is totally what people need right now to stand out. This is very, very great. Very, very great. Krisztian, it was very, very interesting to have you. It was very interesting to understand OptiMonk. I'm a high believer of the success of your company.
Thank you.
This is you are really solving a problem. So this is what to say. When you understand in less than 5 minutes that you are solving a problem, you probably have a nice future.
Thank you.
So we said that we wanted to give some um, hyper personalized offer for our audience.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
what are you able to give as a discount for our audience if they want to try to use OptiMonk right now on their website?
Okay. So if you go to optimonk.com, you have definitely the possibility just register a free forever OptiMonk account, just to look around, just to test your first campaigns and see your first results. It's absolutely possible without any costs or without any risk. But if you like it, and if you would like to go deeper, and if you would like to upgrade to a paid plan, I'm happy to offer to our listeners a very special coupon code, which we can put maybe later on below this video.
Yeah, in the description.
If you use this coupon code by registering an OptiMonk account for a paid plan, you're gonna get 50% discount for the first 3 months, in order to make even more smoother and even more easier your whole onboarding process. And I'm pretty sure after 3 months, you will be so satisfied with your results and with your conversion rate uplift and with your revenue uplift that you stay with us.
Yeah, no. As you did when you did the live show showing to the people and to the world how you were improving businesses with your solution. I'm pretty sure that people that will try what I understood from the features it's a total game changer. So thank you very much for these discounts for the audience of the Knowledge Capital. If people want to reach you out personally or your company, where people can contact you?
So first of all, on our website, optimonk.com, there is a special menu point called Partnership Management, because I'm the International Partnership Manager for OptiMonk. And there is also a Calendly link to me if you would like to maybe connecting personally with me during an online call or something like this. You can reach me out on LinkedIn, on my personal profile. And of course, we have also our own YouTube channel for OptiMonk. There are tons of tutorials and videos.
Great. But anyway, we will put all the links, the relevant links that will be the website, your social, your mail, and everything that you want to share with the audience to contact you directly. So like that, it will be easy. We will also add the coupon, the discount coupon for 3 months. I think we will keep this coupon active not for that long because we really want to give value to you. Don't need it to do that. OptiMonk is a really, really successful company, but it's very kind of you to do that. I think the coupon code won't be valid that much. So if you want to take advantage, please jump on the opportunity. So like that, you can try the features at an affordable cost. Krisztian, it was a real pleasure having you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. I really love this conversation. Thank you, Hedi.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining and see you soon.
See you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.